Good morning, good morning, good morning. Joshua. Master Director, Master Academy, Nick Wabui, King Daniels. Pade. How are you, my people? I hope you guys are doing well. The weather doesn't look to be too friendly today. It seems like it's going to rain. And it seems like it's going to rain a lot. Hi Solomon, how are you? It seems like it's going to rain a lot today. If you have not yet left home, please leave with an umbrella, leave with a jacket. You will need it. It doesn't look to be too friendly today. Musajja Mark to Grand yagenze mu kyalo. Yaze n'aginona. Imotoka yokka gy'avuga n'agenderamu mu kyalo. But regardless, if you get a chance to get it back, my comments. And by the way, I already have a video on the Mark II Grand, though the other one was a 2004. Jenaba Demo is a 2003 model. I did a video on 2004. You remember the Mark II Grand that was pimped properly? So that particular Mark II Grand, the video is there already. I think it's one of the first videos I did in 2020. And Anthony Philip Emmanuel, good morning. Kenya Abby, good morning. Deep in Coffee, good morning. Karim, good morning. Yeah, but the Mark II Grand is a very comfortable car though, guys. Don't be stuck at a budget, because ideally finding a good Mark II Grand if you want AC works and all those things, yeah, but regardless, anyway, so today I want to talk about the things that can be hi Rosette, how are you? Martha otandise okubuuza Anthony bajja kukuba abantu wano ebikonde. Yeah, so I have a story to tell, but I think I'm going to tell that story next week. Munzikiriza story njagibagamba next week. I can't miss telling that story, but I'll tell it next week. How was the consumption by the two trips? By the two trips, I used, the fact is I used about 40,000, 40 to 45,000 to and from home. 45,000. So the Mark II Grand is not for the kind of person that lives far away from the city. No. People that live in places like Chanja, Kasangati, Najera, Chaliwajala, Munyonyo, the Mark II Grand is good. You guys, you will finish. However, if you live in places like Akawanda, still good. But if you live in places like, okay, let's just say if you live more than 20 kilometers away from your workplace, and it's like you want to drive to your workplace every day, the Mark II Grand is not for you. However, if you live 20 kilometers or less from your workplace, then the Mark II Grand is one car you can manage. One thing, like I said yesterday, the Mark II Grand is one car that will not die on you. Tefa. It's an advantage. Nti omuntu avuga kasipasi yako mukaraba maaso wakanikira mbu ate kati obukono bwagize Mark II Grand obo kyavuga. It's like Taina lunaku lwegenda kufaako ebyo bintu. So the Mark II Grand, me, I find that one of the biggest advantages of the Mark II Grand would be that. Then someone was saying that it's slippery. One of my friends here, Bakaika Bruno, said he drives the Mark II Grand, and he drives it up country. Agenda Kabong, Agenda Arua, he goes everywhere in the Mark II Grand. First things first, that car is very comfortable for long distance driving. It's very fast. It's very safe, by the way, as well. and he drives it for all those long distances. However, he noted one thing, that car is it's because it's rear wheel drive, find a slippery road, and if you don't know the best way to drive it, however, I found people that told me that a motokeyo, the goal is to simply learn how to drive it, and then you won't get in trouble. So me, I would recommend that you see now when I said it now, and yet I would have expected that Nizo kuserera muko. Menu is your uncle. Okay. Senoga Lawrence, how are you, my brother? Juko Nicholas, how do you do? Martin and Michael, how are you? Yeah, so the Mark II Grand, for a person that has a very small budget, 15 million and below, you can get a Mark II Grand in office and center. Atenge moroke yojo togenda kanika. Majority of the times, the Mark II Grand is in Mukatari because zivugibwa nnyo abasajja abakulu n'abavubuka abo obuvunanyizibwa. Era n'abantu abatera okuzivuga bazivuga bulungi. It's hardly that you will you sacrifice for me. Yeah. So it's hardly you would rarely find that the Mark II Grand is in bad condition. Good morning, Jeremy. Am I driving very fast, Jeremy? I'm not. I'm like right now I'm doing only 20, actually less than 20 kilometers per hour. I'm doing 15 kilometers per hour. Yeah. Then I tell you, Siduse na kuduka. I try, when you get to populated places, it's important that you don't go beyond 40 kilometers per hour. That's like a rule. There's a time I worked with the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP, and the drivers had a rule, like when you are driving in populated areas, the recommended speed would be 30 kilometers per hour, and the less populated areas would be 40 kilometers per hour. And then on the roads, they will not go beyond 70 kilometers per hour. So I kind of picked that up. It helps you be safe, and it helps the public be safe. And that's something that we as car lovers and drivers should endeavor to do. And that's why I brought the topic today of the things that you should let other people set for you. What's that? It keeps getting dark and dark. Let me see. So we're going to be talking about the things you should let people set for you in your car, and we want to find. Am I the only one noticing that thing? Like it's like a strip of light that goes through. Good morning, Eddie Tusime. Serunjoji Williams. Good morning, Paddy. I'm not so late. Officer Naye. Kabeika Shero Kasigara Moko Kafilda. Good morning, Mubiru Yuda, Ntambi, Wamani Arnold. Mark II Grand, as a first car, I actually find that the Mark II Grand or the Mark II Musota, they are very, very good cars. However, the Mark X, you should try as much as possible, especially if you're not loaded, try as much as possible to leave the Mark X. Mark X and Mercedes-Benz are literally the same car, I'm telling you. With the Mark II Grand, you'll get the comfort of all those cars. Something I'm seeing there. So let's see. Let me do that. Yeah, so I'm going to read all your comments, guys. I can't where I am, but I am going to try. I'm a little late, guys, that's why you see it. So our Mark II Grand yazena ajino nanga muna kangendeko mu kyalo Mark II Grand yesobola okudduka. I think it is but that car is really stable on the road. It's really stable on the road. So today I want to talk about the things that you should let other people set for you. It's important for you to understand. The first thing I'm going to tell you, because you want a car to be safe, and for the car to be safe, is you want your car to be stable on the road. You want it to be equal, like you want all sides, left or right, rear or front, to be at the standard size, at the standard levels. If ground clearance in the front is like 4 inches, you want the rear clearance of the ground to be 4 inches as well. And this is where it comes to you creating a suspension that works for you. For example, when you buy shocks, you remember when I bought shocks for the Vitz, I bought 2 shocks in the front, even when one of them was actually still okay. So I bought 2 shocks. Why? Because something I'm seeing this something that I'm seeing this camera is doing, I don't know what it is. The Mark II Grands are no longer coming because they were last manufactured in 2004. Then starting 2005, the Mark X was the Mark that was there. They are no longer coming. So I find that the newest Mark II Grand you'll find would probably be a UBG. The newest Mark II Grand you'll find would probably be a UBG. Yeah. But Mark II Grand, for example, the Mark II Grand I was driving yesterday was a UAV. Still tip-top condition. Like you'd buy that car and there would be nothing for you to repair. Today, topic here. Every time you buy shock absorbers, if your mechanic doesn't tell you, don't buy one shock absorber. Okay? Don't buy one. If the rear shock absorber, one of them is dead, absorber. It absorbs. Yeah. So if the rear shock absorber, one of the rear shock absorbers is dead, faulty, blown, don't go to the shop and buy one shock absorber. Buy 2. Why? You want to put shock absorbers there and have them balanced. Now, these are things that normally mechanics may not tell you because laboratory innocent and all that. But if you have a professional mechanic, they will definitely tell you. Then again, I'm going shock absorbers bill. Nazikura bill. Why? Because shock air Japan, whether you like it or not, they can't be equal. So that's why I went and bought 2 shock absorbers. Also, if you're going to be changing springs, because most of the cars that we drive, Range Rover, Range Rover, Vela, Bajita Vela, the Range Rover Vela, is Ababede, Ade Oyujila Wakatao, and so Bajufuka Chamuka. At is a Moka Nebozida Garavu. You know you can be driving that car and it says I'm not going anywhere. It parks in the middle of the road. Those cars, someone was telling me a story about which car, the 2016 model of the Kaundo. That Kaundo, if it sees someone in front of your car and you're getting close, it just turns off the engine. What's going to do to us? So now you see that car we just passed, that's the Nissan Tiena. Now there are people that are getting temptations to buy the Tienas, to buy the Fugas, to buy all those funny cars that look like Mark X's. Why? Because if you find the Mark X's at like 15, there are chances you'll get a Nissan Fuga at like 10. And people are getting the temptation. Please, if you're here and going to comment here for the love of cars, don't get tempted to buy a Nissan Fuga, a Nissan Tiena, or Kujako, now you're buying it from the bond. It's like you're the first owner of that Nissan Tiena, that Nissan Fuga, whatever Nissan that looks like the Mark X. And even then, if you buy it, drive it for strictly 1 year, sell it and buy another one. So that you don't get to the troubling phase, because those cars will trouble you whether you like it or not. Yeah. So we have talked about shock absorbers. Every time you buy shocks, buy 2. And now, however much you can actually install these, shock absorbers yourself, please get a professional. Now, professional in a sense, sometimes professional is supposed to mean someone that that went to school for that. But in terms of handymen like mechanics, carpenters, they don't necessarily have to have gone to school. They might have learned as artisans and they know what they do. So have someone actually install these things. I've tried to do some of these things, and normally there are things they know with experience. That, for example, if I'm putting a bolt, I turn it 3 times. For you, you will turn it 4 times and you'll break the nail. I don't know if you get, you'll break the bolt or something. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There's a time when Kajubi Wangono, Twari Fena, and at that time, brakes that is Kubagana, no brakes womas, and we say that to be a holiday or your mechanic Jatuli Ako Center. We went home, Omsumai to Amenya Mumenye, to again and it's for Choksuma to Adueza. Ideally, anti-clockwise, it's supposed to be where the bolt is unscrewed from. For the brakes, our kukali power, anti-clockwise actually does the reverse. So katfetu again anti-clockwise, what we did, Kajubi wange manyi yenge jali omuntu wa lole. Nalinya go! Netubiranga gugonze gujo, netugamba tugusumuludde. Netujjako brakes, netutereza, tugenda okuza akantu omusumalinga gwina we gulaga. Kumbe gwamenyekeddemu. So some of these things, these guys know with experience. There are some things that they know with experience. That's why sometimes I tell you, you need a mechanic. Newobanga, if you are on YouTube and you know how to do them, you actually need a mechanic. There's one guy that I know that drives a Mercedes Benz Yagamba agenda ku YouTube na igabuli chimo, but his car is parked for like half of the year. The car is parked, probably because he was trying to fix something and ended up breaking another. And also there are mechanics like that. There are people like that, and they will never accept. Now, Budwana Bako Nabagamba, a story of my editor, Yali nga tamanyi ku editing work when shooting. It was very well shot work. Kati because ngatayagala kukkiriza nti tamanyi. So what he did, he ended up saying that the DOP are shooting a work camera, are shooting a movie. That's what he said. I find that to be not fair. You don't say, and then a chinto chamulemo kola for like 2 days. Then fundo man naja nachikola in 10 minutes na achitereza. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So experience is the best teacher. So you're going to buy shocks, but don't install them yourself. At least not for now. In Uganda, we are not yet at the level where we have the time to install those things ourselves. Abazungu, they work hourly. So they actually have the time to do these things themselves. We don't have that time. Toilet, you don't have the time. Drive your car as safely as possible, and when it comes time to change the shock absorbers, give them to a professional to do that. Then there are these other, I talked about wheel alignment, wheel balancing. Make sure, if it shakes when you're driving on the highway, you're driving on a highway and your car is shaky, sometimes it will be wheel balancing. Yeah, sometimes it will be those suspension things, bukono, ball joints and all that. But majority of the time, it will be the wheel balancing, especially for the guys that are driving old cars. Old cars, because I've driven old cars before, a lot of old cars. I still have my old cars in the CZ. But one thing I realize is that most of those cars, especially the ones that have sport rims, rimways ozikona pavement, nezikona mayinja, and all those things. And what happens is the wheels, over the Twitter sport rims, the Twitter rims, they start getting dents. Now, those dents kinda start damaging. They start making the rim loose. The rim starts losing its round circumference. So some spots will not be round, other spots will be, and that's not a very good thing for the wheel. That's why you'll see that and then it's something that is as simple as you taking, some can be fixed by putting those magnet, those magnetic kind of things that they put on the rims, and then they try to balance the rim so that it doesn't go this way or this way, because the rim is supposed to be going straight. But when the rim loses its balance, it starts doing that and that and that and that and that, and then you don't want that to be happening. Yeah, so wheel balancing and wheel alignment is also something that you should make sure that you do every time you work on your suspension system. Go do wheel alignment every time you work on your suspension. Go work on your wheel alignment. okay? And every time you put tires, go do wheel balancing and wheel alignment. Of course, now I know there are guys that decide that that for me, I'm going to go and buy tires ngende wali ka petrol station kafako kucharo, and then I get that guy to put the tires for me. Guys, ibyo byadda. Why am I saying byadda? Nti ennaku zino, the place where you buy tires, they should be able to help you do wheel balancing and wheel alignment. That's why normally I tell you, and I'm not a City Oil ambassador. I don't think I'm going to be anytime soon. Omusajja oyo abala nnyo okitegeera. Omusajja oyo abala nnyo. I don't think I'm going to be an ambassador anytime soon of City Oil. But in case they want me to be an ambassador, there are some of their products that I actually want to recommend to people. I'm going to recommend some of their products or some of their services today. So if someone here works at City Oil, video jibaweereze ibampe kasente ba abani banywa amata. So anyway, so make sure you buy tires at a place like of course one of Kobil's, like there is Kobil Bombo Road. I bought tires there before. When you buy tires, they'll make sure that you do wheel alignment and wheel balancing as well. Why? They don't want you to buy tires, and then in a very short time the tires start losing tread, and then you say that's why they help you do wheel alignment. Of course you pay a fee, but it's fair enough. So me, every time I buy tires, I actually end up doing wheel alignment and wheel balancing. Okay, why? Because emipira joji wangara. So I think that is clear. Wheel balancing, wheel alignment, and then periodically, it doesn't matter. Periodically, if you kind of like drive your car for a year, it's recommended that you go ahead and check your suspension. Never but a food day, check on it. Prevention is better than cure. It's ndoza mula advantages za Mac to Grand yote tena vibration nezi ne moroka za fezine ndalezo omuntu wa wansi zino kati laba Mac to Grand yabadde steady tegenda kutisenda gula ya kantu akaroba kano kakadie naye ate mu Mac to Grand mukabadde tikenyenya gambo nonye chokako ndanga tukiraba. So anyway, we are talking about the things that you should get other people to set for you now, especially now that we are going for the festive season. Get these things to checked out. Katolabe your Mac 2 Grand, what the yabade teina muyanda akakona. If you drive it for a year, before you head out up country, get the suspension checked to make sure that all the bushes are good, all the ball joints. Katate Mac 2 Grand enough the problem of ball joints. So you have to make sure that ball joint never takubye for like a year before you go up country. Change the ball joint. Your ball joint you go choose at least every year, mean maximum every year. Because the ball joints are not cheap. The ball joints for that Mac are like I think 60,000 or 70,000 each. That's 140. Depending on the quality, where you're buying and all that, and who you are. So the suspension system is something that you should not take for granted. Check it out all the time. Now, if you have good shocks, good springs, good suspension, good wheel alignment, good wheel balancing, now the car will be stable on the road. Now, there are cars that have had accident history. If your car has had an accident history, there are chances that even when they do alignment, the spaces, for example, between the tire and the fender, the space between the tire and the chassis, they are not equal. Yes, they will not be equal, but still the wheel alignment guys will be able to do it. And sometimes they may recommend again the a body repair shop. Now that's why you should try to be as careful as possible. It's very important that you work on that as well. There is no jam. There is no jam anywhere. See? And you'll be surprised. It's 7:21 and there is no jam. And there is no jam. Bana Uganda muina sente abana bamwe mbatwalira mmamoroka buli lunaku bwe mujjana mugamba obwavu bungi. Abana bwe bawumula tewabaawo jam anywhere. So anyway, last but not least of the things you should check, and this is very important, is the headlights. You see, normally when your headlights are not seeing properly, the first thing we run to is washing the headlights. Abana bewacheka ne bakuba tuwe yetano tugozi tegatu ati kati nemunda mulimu ettaka namoto ozemu ne bakubenda nosigala nga tolaba. I want you guys to be looking at me in a broadcast card. Now, how do you work on those headlights? I worked on them on my car. What you do is, and I don't know any other place that can do this apart from City Oil. I'm not the ambassador, but I went there and I saw it at work. Now, City Oil, you pay about 15,000 shillings and they set your headlights for you. Especially if it's dark and other people are coming towards you, the chances are high that the setting of the lights is not good enough. What do I mean not good enough? It's the headlights, they have something that can be, it's like a screw. They use it to set the lights, to make sure that the lights, when they're in dim, they push the beams at the right angle. They push the beams at the right place. Now, majority of new cars are okay because literally they are new and they still have factory mode. They still have factory settings. So the new cars, the Bond cars, I would not be worried. Now it's people that are driving US series cars, UBA, UBB, UBD. Those cars normally they have lost their touch. Why? On a border, on a bump, bumper, the lights actually move, right? So you need to go and have them set. Now City Oil has a machine. They put it in front of your car, and the machine tells them, like, it has measurements. There's a way they use it. So the guy keeps doing the screws until the headlights reach a certain level. Now I'm talking about the headlights because people kept complaining about how they don't see at night, like sometimes people are not even doing full, it's dim, but still you're not seeing, right? But it's simply because of the setting of your lights, right? So go to City Oil. I think I went to City Oil Bombo Road, and asoka natulula amatala go begakuba ku kisenge. Then bwamala okulaba amatala go begakuba ku kisenge, kati awo n'amala n'aleta machine n'agisaako machine n'emubuulira oba amatala ago gali set the right way, okitegeera. Bwegaba nga tegali set the right way, then screwing nga machine bwepima mathematically. The machine does math. The machine does math, and then it says, okay, now that's good. The machine does one light at a time. So he sets this one light, and then after he has set that one light, then he goes and also sets another light. So for the guys that have problems seeing, now this broadcast was specific as you talk about lights though. I also decided to talk about the other things because I lose nothing, right? So ogenda machine eyo setting amataala ago omuntu enaga setting, and yeah. So let me just go through the comments bagayi mbasibule. Banonda Seka Jajon, Mubiru Yuda, Ntambi Wamani Arnold, Cosmas Agaba, Lugumia Tony, Brian Buire. Good morning, people. KJN Sounds, Lucky Mose, Sereko Starch, Lucky Mose, Kumaze. Why they steal number plates and thieves are not apprehended? I think they're no longer stealing number plates. It's cheaper for you to when you buy a car. When you buy your car, make sure you transfer it to your names. Bwebaziba number plate zibalekere genda ogule number plate endala. Good morning Arthur, nze ndi Masaka ne yagala ne Nuwa. Man, onateekwa okuba emusajja gwe twagula naye Nuwa. Mwebagayi twagula Nuwa eri gye twasemba yogula bana emoroka yali nnungi gye twavuga ogende Masaka okuinspectinga Alteza ne tuka kwa Alteza nga nvundu naye eri Nuwa yali mbaragavu era musiramu nyongera sente. Emoroka yali nnungi nnyo twalonda bulonzi nyongerayo kasente. Arthur, can I get a rough 1.8 liter VVT at 16 million? How is it fuel from Matuga to Gombe? Now 16 million is a good budget, but I wouldn't bank on it, but we can try. we can try. The only thing you don't have to be picky about is the number plates. You'll get a UA, sometimes USZ, sometimes a UAT, but the condition, just bank on the condition. I'm sure you can get at 16. With 16, don't be too picky about the number plates, but you can get. Then we better 1.8 little jakunywanga emitwalo nge esatu oba esatu kino, depending on your acceleration patterns. Ivan Kayuchi, how is Saudi Arabia? Modric, good morning. David Sembatia, good morning. Mansur Hanifa, good morning. Africa Karota, good morning. Chris Fitness Dubura, good morning. Papera Hamim, good morning. Joshua Agaba, Bakahika Bruno, good morning. Muna Bruno Leosirimo Grand. You didn't give us those stories, Masakano. I'm going to tell you the stories. Tomorrow is Friday. Wendy, I'm finishing my gig today. And then I'll tell you the stories properly tomorrow. And yeah. Good morning, Gisha Collins. Abadi Mukamori, I don't take you for granted. Thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. JK, good morning. Adonia Collins Nanzinzi, good morning. Yeah. So tomorrow will be a longer broadcast. Tomorrow's broadcast will start at 7:15 normally. And then it will go on as long as possible. Tomorrow is Thursday. No, tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow is Question Friday. Anyone that has questions, let it be about cars, let it be about other things. You can come tomorrow and ask these questions. We have people that answer these questions here. Alec Isaac Wandera, good morning. People, but just know I'm really grateful that you guys take the time to be part of this broadcast. Jude Kasivante, good morning. Don't forget, on Saturday, you guys have to watch the cafe with me. The cafe shows at 8 p.m. on Pearl Magic Local, which is on DSTV and GoTV, channel 302 on GoTV, channel 142 on DSTV, 8 p.m. Fena tulabe the cafe, bwemulaba the cafe mba mumusaporting zate banyongere contract. Mfune mukase nange mvuge ku moroke empya ziri ezaragirwa. Okitegeera. But anyway guys, I want to wish you a very lovely day. Jengendo kola wali amateeka mayitirivu. I have to actually comb my hair. Sanzo change kiriwa. Nabadde shift is ebintu ngambitadde mu Mark 2 Grand. Omusajja wa Mark 2 Grand nangamba ate kati mpa ngende mu kyalo katwalo ekimotoka kyo kinywa n'okunywa. But anyway guys, I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow morning 7:15 a.m. Don't forget to share this broadcast. Share it with your friends if you think the content that we do here is useful to them. Good morning, Charles Nkugwa. Mwebale nnyo kubeera ku broadcast. I wish you a very lovely Thursday and ciao.